My review was yesterday. So I'm safe for a year. So anyway, and Ms. Sandy Ward with The Future of Flight, and Monique Trednowski, which with this the Adriatic Grill, right? Jane Kilburn with the Port of Seattle, and Mike and Ron, thanks, welcome back. So what we're going to do is hear from each of them, and then we're going to ask for you to ask questions. I've been asked to come down from here if you get out of hand, and there was somebody that was really tall here earlier that asked for backup, but he's left. So, but anyway, but we're going to have you ask some questions and see where do we go from here. So I'm going to start with George.
Am I supposed to ask the question?
No, just basically, these are the founding. And by the way, Tom Norwalk, I neglect to say he had to go back. Something about challenging to his funding, and so he had to go back downtown. But Tom is also founding Metaverse. So just a brief comment from each of you, please, about the importance of this industry and the way forward, I guess. So.
Okay, I haven't turned that performance review in yet. This is it's a great industry. It's one that, as Harry says, I started as a busboy back in 1976. So it's been a while, and it just means an awful lot. The state is incredible. It is also the state to go skiing. Mike.
Wait till we get our money, Mike. Wait till we get our money.
Yeah.
You need the three things.
Yeah.
Show off.
I got involved in this only because, I guess, wrong place, right time, or maybe vice versa. And my intent is to help and hopefully bring other members onto our board. So I'm going to pass it along to you, Sandra.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm going to step to the podium here because I have a few slides. I want to talk to you a little bit about the Puget Sound Attractions Council because we don't talk very much about how important arts, culture, heritage, and the attractions are to the state industry. I represent today the Puget Sound Attractions Council. We are 28 premier visitor attractions, everything from Argosy to the Woodland Park Zoo, the Space Needle to watching whales out with the San Juan Safaris, Ride the Ducks to riding the tram at Crystal Mountain, and the Mariners to the Museum of Flight. Attractions statewide are an important part of this visitor experience. And I like to call us the glue that holds the part where we're eating and sleeping and meeting and shopping together, and that's the attractions. We help drive pre- and post-conventions and cruise activities, and we're the magic that brings visitors back and helps them stay longer. Just a little bit about what we do at the Attractions Council. We work with destination marketing organizations, restaurants, hotels, transportation providers, ports, and somebody we haven't talked much about today, which is the tribes, a very important part of the tourism business. We work to drive business, drive room nights, and we're anxious to build partnerships statewide. I want to talk a little bit about how we fit in that tourism pie, and we talked about making that pie bigger. We're excited about that. We're a major part of that $15.2 billion industry. Attractions, as you can see, are just about a $1.5 million part of that pie. And interestingly enough, we generate 37,500 jobs statewide. So I just want you to know that we stand ready to assist the rest of the state's attractions, that we want to support a unified tourism effort moving forward, and that we are so proud to be a founding partner of this WTA. Thanks.
And Monique, before you go, just a housekeeping, and Tammy's looking at me, the parking, there are parking passes for those of you who parked in the Marriott parking lot. And where are they again? They're right in front of George there. And if you don't have them and you need to sneak out, just push the button and say you were with this particular group. So, Monique.
Don't adjust your TV sets. I am only 5 foot. Yeah. So I own a restaurant at the north end of Tacoma Mall. My husband convinced me 5 years ago to leave our comfortable corporate jobs because he had this dream. Well, the dream didn't include the nightmare of the recession. But why I'm doing this is because I am the Main Street. I am the person that in 3 years has had 7 days off. I'm the busboy, I'm the general manager, I'm the marketing manager. I am at the north end of Tacoma Mall with a restaurant that's about 7,500 square feet and one of the largest chef-owned restaurants between Seattle and San Francisco. So with my 7 days off a week, why have I decided to do this? Yes, it's a Jane's dry sense of humor and Georgia's good looks. But I'll tell you why. Because, yeah, the other way around. Because,
Yeah, I meant that too.
But why I do it is because as a small business owner, okay, I'm deluged with the Groupons and the Twitters and the Facebooks, and my pockets are this deep, with liquor increases. How do I choose to spend my money? I'll tell you. I'm next to a closed TGI Fridays. I'm in front of a closed International Jewelers. I'm behind a closed Circuit City. I have a Bermuda Triangle. And when I looked at my 6 children and my husband last year, and we said we had to do something to make our restaurant successful, there's one thing that helped us achieve a double-digit increase when most restaurants in the state are flat or down to last year, and that was partnering with my hoteliers and the Tacoma Regional CVB. It was getting my lead host, who's right here in the front row, and taking my salary and saying, I'm going to pay you, but every week you have to put on red lips and visit all the hotels in the city. And that meant getting in her pretty little car, cranking up the Prince, and driving her hiney off. And she did it. And because of that, I went from 43 employees to 63 employees. Okay, I'm still open. Thank you. I'm still open, and a lot of you in the room are looking at me going, yeah, she came in every week. I mean, we did chocolate, we did everything. But you know what? I know with tourism, I am an Italian restaurant, and I am corporately chef-owned, but I'll say, or privately chef-owned. You need gnocchi for knitters, I'll do it. You want pizza for cheerleaders, I'll do it. Because you know what? I cannot afford to say no to business. And for so long, chefs are the most suspect. They don't want to share their beurre blanc recipe, let alone an industry, together. But we have to come to the table. We have to become self-assessed, and we have to work together to bring tourists to Washington State. So that's why I'm here, and hopefully I'll be able to help get you motivated to give us money.
And Miss Jane.
Thank you, Monique, for the compliment. From the Port of Seattle, and you heard from Bill Bryant earlier today, we see tourism as an export, and I think you've heard that from our speakers this morning. Tourists come and they spend money and they leave, and we don't have to build roads for them, and we don't have to build schools for them, and it's an important export and an important source of tax revenue and, as you know, business revenue. So that's why the port is invested in tourism and has been for more than 25 years. And we see it as an economic development engine and throughout the state, and we have really been proud partners with the Seattle CVB and with the State Tourism Office for all that time, bringing international tourists to this region. And I'm really pleased to see the focus from our speakers on international tourists, because they come, they spend a lot more money, they spend more time, and they leave too. And they leave on an airplane, which we think is cool. But we believe in growing the pie. We want to be here to help. You heard Bill Bryant's announcement earlier today about the $150,000. We're going to actually be writing a contract with the WTA for tourism promotion, so we're very pleased to be doing that. And we will maintain our major gateway status, and we're adding international routes all the time, and we may have some announcements in the next year and a half or so. But we're very, very pleased to be a partner and excited to see where we're going to go.
Thanks, Jane. And we've certainly heard from Mike and Ron, and we want to get to your questions, but let's thank both of these gentlemen again for their presentations. It's always nice not to reinvent the wheel. But now we want to hear from you, and we want to make sure that we get you out of here at noon as we promised. But we want to hear from you, and this is your opportunity to ask our two speakers, as well as the founding members of WTA, questions that you might have about this process. So, yep, let's just, if you could stand up for us, tell us who you're with, and then ask your question, please.